Hey guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I am back in Las Vegas after a 3-day trip, and I have calmed down. I was crying pretty significantly a little while ago, and I'll tell you why. So, I just got back from this 3-day trip, and when I was about to leave for work, Buddy was just coming back from his morning sojourn. And I figured, well, I've been thinking about letting him stay in the house while I was on a trip. This seems like perfect timing where he was walking into the apartment willingly, on his own. And so he had plenty of food in his gravity feeder, and there's a matching water dispenser as well. So there's plenty of food and water. I had two litter boxes for him now. They were both fresh, and he has lots of places to sleep, of course. So I figured this would be a great time to experiment and try to see how Buddy does on his own for 3 days. And I left for work, and the guilt started to gnaw at me the minute I left the house. I felt just awful for leaving him by himself because I was just worried that he would be stressed and unhappy and lonely and all of that. And so I managed, but every coworker I had this week, this 3-day trip, heard about Buddy. A lot of our guests heard about Buddy as well. It's amazing how many people have cats and can identify with my feelings around Buddy. But it was 3 days, about 54 hours, a 54-hour long trip. And so I came home tonight about an hour and a half ago, and I opened the door, not sure what I would see. I expected Buddy to shoot out of the door and just go in search of some freedom after being cooped up for a couple of days, but no, he was just standing there at the bottom of the door going meow meow, making his little meows, and they sounded really sad and stressed, and I realized why. Um, the food dispenser and the water dispenser are probably about this tall. They're probably about a foot and a half tall. And he had rubbed against them, as he does. He rubs against anything in the apartment, and he knocked them over. Now the food dispenser, not a problem because the food just spilled out, but the water dispenser requires the weight of the container to push on a button that would allow water to flow out as he drank. So the dispenser fell off on its side, leaving the water bowl by itself empty. Well, emptying because he drank all the water. And there was a full bottle of water lying on its side, but he had no access to it. So, knowing how much water he drinks, that water probably ran out after a day and a half, almost 2 days. So he was very thirsty and I think stressed because of it. And I felt so bad. I just, I'm not going to cry now. So I let him out, and he went up to the bowl that I usually keep out for the other stray cats. And he drank and he drank and he drank, and I cried and I cried and I cried. And then I expected him to shoot off somewhere away from me because he was mad, and he did, and he kind of hung around. I think he kind of missed me at the same time as being kind of mad at me. And so he wanted to be outside. He did not want to be inside, as you'd imagine. But he didn't seem to want to go very far from me. So I decided to go for a walk slowly around the complex, down near areas that I know he likes to hang out. So we did. We went downstairs and walked around the little grassy areas. And he sprayed twice. I've never seen a cat spray. It was hysterical. I was so grateful to laugh because he is funny. He backed up, and his tail went straight up, and it wiggled around like this, and his whole behind moved the opposite direction of his tail, and he shot out a spray that looked like it was out of like a water cannon. I mean, it shot across, and he sprayed two different bushes. And it was just the funniest thing to see him move like that. Um, and boy, it really shot out there. And so we kept walking around. And then when he seemed to be more or less normal, I decided to head back to the apartment to see if he'd be happy coming back in. And so I ran here, and he loves to run. And he ran alongside me like a little panther. And we came back in. He came in and out, in and out. He's out again, which is one of the reasons I have this heavy robe on. I leave my door open about 8 inches so he can come in when he wants to. And then I'll close the door after he's in and seems comfortable. But it's really cold here in Las Vegas. It's probably in the 30s right now. And my apartment is at 59, so it's not freezing clearly, but it's really cold in here. So he's in and out, and totally not about Buddy, but there's a number of other cats in my complex, and one of them is this big giant Siamese that I've called Samson. Well, I'm looking off to the side as I am right now, and I saw Buddy's head pop in, and I thought, oh, that looks a little weird. That's not Buddy. It was Samson. He has a very dark head and this golden beige body. He's so beautiful. He stood there with his head and shoulders in my apartment through the opening in the door, and he just stood there. He looked at me, he looked at Buddy's food, and he just stood there for probably a minute. And then I heard Buddy go, not in a big scary way like he gets with other cats. He was just, I think, warning his cat, no, listen, dude, that's my house. But he didn't get super territorial. Other cats he gets very mean with. He becomes sort of a bully. But this cat, he seems, I don't know if they have some sort of understanding. I don't know. I think Samson's a boy. It was just weird. But Samson poked his head in and hung out. He hung out in a little pile. He sat there curled up on the concrete outside my apartment for a bit. He may still be there. But Buddy has decided to go for another walk, it's his normal time for that. And he seems okay now. I mean, he's still, when he sees me, he makes a lot of noises. He's a very verbal cat. He's always, meow, meow. He's making a lot of meows. And they went from being stressed and kind of sad to being sort of like, I don't know, curious or something. I don't know. But so there's an update on Buddy. I feel absolutely horrible about that water bowl. So even given that, he seemed to have handled being by himself pretty well. I expected the door and the door frame to be gouged with his nails, because he goes to the door and he kind of scratches it leisurely, really long, slow motion scrape when he wants to go outside. And so I was expecting it to be shredded, and not a thing. So I think he really behaved. He didn't spray. He didn't do anything, like, he didn't make a mess. Did I mention his litter boxes? I got 2 litter boxes for him. He filled both of them. I have never seen a litter box so full. He pooped a lot. He ate a lot, but he pooped a lot. So I think he'll be okay after the horror of coming home to find him having been thirsty for at least a day and a half. Outside of that, I think he did okay. So I think the next time I have a 3-day trip, next month I only have 4-day trips, and I'm not sure if 4 days is too long. But next time I have a 3-day trip, oh, I don't know, I might let him stay in for the 4 days, because January in Vegas is cold. I don't know. We'll see. But I think he'll be okay next time I leave him alone. I just need to make sure that he's got a big, giant bowl of water and food. And these dispensers he really likes, and he uses them beautifully when he's home with me. But when he's by himself, he rubs against them and they fall over. So I'm going to replace those things with giant bowls of food and water when I'm gone. Or as I'm looking at the desk that I keep them under, I could just bungee cord or zip tie the containers to the legs of this desk so they don't tip over. I'm just gonna make it simple and get bowls. So there's a Buddy update. It was very scary and very stressful. Hey, Buddy, he's back in the house. I'm so glad. Good timing. Do you hear him? Buddy, over here. No, hold on. Let me see if I can get him. Oh, oh, Buddy, look at the camera. Oh, all right. He doesn't like to be held. Now he's just licking his bum. So, well, it was a quick appearance from Buddy. He was very unhappy with me holding him. If I hold him for like more than 15 seconds, that's how it gets. So I have to really enjoy my 15 seconds. All right, so there you go. There's a Buddy update. If you guys were interested or curious about how he's been doing. I'm going to make another video. If not tonight, I might be wearing the same thing. If not tonight, tomorrow, to show you guys. If you guys sent me Christmas cards, I got them finally. They were in my P.O. box. I just haven't had a chance to get to my P.O. box. So I got some Christmas cards from you guys. And I got 2 packages. One, Allison, you're too much. You're too much. I still do love my Dunkin' Donuts. I will do my best to make a giant dent in that coffee, though. Linda? No, I don't want to call out individuals for having sent me anything, because I don't want this video about like getting things, unlike some other flight attendant vloggers. No judgment. But Linda, between Allison and Linda and White Ferret, and there's a couple of you. I don't want to start putting out names because it's humility and all that. But I don't know if I've cried harder. I cried like, thank God no one could hear me because we have these cinder block walls. I cried so hard out of just the sheer level of thoughtfulness that went into these 2 packages. I could not handle it. Guys, I might show it to you tomorrow. There is this little envelope that Linda put a card in. I got it. We have a little connection over Treasure Island in Florida, and she put this little teeny plastic bag of sand from Treasure Island, the beach in Treasure Island, and taped that to the front of the envelope. When I saw that little detail, I lost my mind. I lost my mind. I don't think I've cried that hard since my grandmother died. So I want to thank you guys for those 2 packages, and the cards that I've gotten have just been so enormously touching. And if you add that, boy, I always do this. I always think, oh, I'm going to finish this video now, and then I keep talking. I'll do a separate video about this tomorrow because I'll get emotional and it's not good. So I will talk to you soon, very soon. And I hope you have a great night. And Buddy says hi, and he says thank you for the treats that you guys sent him. Good night. Fly safe.